Ay, 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 ay. Yo, 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 yo. I know it's late. It's late afternoon. It was a very business day. Lots of business. Not so morning. I like it. Afternoon. A lot of business structure going on. Lots of spreadsheet stuff. And I had a bunch of meetings, unexpected meetings, phone calls. So lots of business stuff, which may be super helpful in the long run. But it could change the outcome of the future a little for the better. Especially with school starting. So I didn't get to put like a whole lot of time into coming up with any of the planning for the game. I mean, I think about it regularly. Take notes, write stuff down, make plans. Been thinking about our spreadsheet layout versus what might help me a little bit. I wonder if I could set it up. Let me grab the thing. There we go. Put it over here and stretch it. Wonder if I could work like that better. But I've been thinking about how as the game gets bigger, we might want to put our planning into a like staging process, right? So it's like, which would just be adding headers and dividing it up a little bit. Would be like main menu stuff, pause menu stuff, level 1. Trying to come up with the best way to organize the entire layout. There's a lot to do, right? On top of all the added stuff. I did think though, I wonder how, especially with like testing like the FBX and some of the file types we're trying to kind of play around with. I wonder how quick we could do something that was just like, and not even necessarily Red and Randy related, you know, like a almost like an infinite scroller for like a jet, or what's some of the other games? Kind of like our, you know, we could do like our own Galaga. Do our own classic, because I know there's not a whole lot to something like that, and then that would give us something that like we could put out quicker. But that's adding more stuff to our already large to-do list. Red and Randy's just kind of turned into this is a big project. It's a lot bigger than like my original thought process. I blame Hunter. That's not true. Whoa, I didn't mean to do that. Like there's that like, and I don't know, maybe it's something I should ask you. Do we want to put out, are you interested in just putting games out? Or do we want to put a really, really good game? Get beefed. Double beefed. Put some extra beef on it. Quali. Okay, good. I'm glad you feel that way. We want quality over quantity. I'm gonna put that on a shirt. Quality over quantity. Don't lie about your quality. Never lie about your quality. See, it's a weird day today. The vibe is shifting, if you will. I feel it. So I had a conversation with a company. I don't want to put too much out there, but with the Renovo company, the agency that I started, and managing with businesses, I might be able to really shift it into what I want it to be. But it is going to take some hands-on labor, which I'm okay with. One of my big concerns though during conversation was, I'm working on this game. This game's hot fire. It's the real deal, you know? So I got to be careful before any big decisions happen, but it may give me some power to do a lot more with the game, though. And then we can really get the ball rolling. The only thing it cuts into, or it has potential to cut into stream time. I just don't know if it's going to. I'm cautious, you know. You got to tiptoe it because I don't. That's what I'm worried about, is backing myself into a corner and not being able to focus on this, because this is taking off and this is very important right now. We got to have this. We want to make this quali. Well, it might turn into, I don't know, because honestly, I'm a laptop away of being to work on the road. And if I can work on the road, I mean, I can still design as it is currently. So if I can keep designing and working on the road and the stream just maybe shifts a little, cool. But if I can't and it eats up like way more time than it should, I'm not going to be happy with that. So I got to be careful. Nothing's set in stone as of right now. Nothing's changing. Worst case, stream gets pushed back a little bit like it did today. But I'm going to come up with the correct method before I make any decision. Because this game, in my heart, the game is number one right now. So number one. Like, I probably think about the game a little more than I should. Also, if the deal does go and I could be able to use that also as a sponsor, which would be huge. Big moves in the works. It's exciting times. The future is bright. Did you guys do your homework? Did we think about this menu? We were so inspired by Hunter's menu layout and those sick nails that we got to figure out how to make this perfect. Oh yeah, the gray's not actually there. It's supposed to be over. Can you cast shadows in the in Godot, or do I probably need to do it on my end? I gotta figure out how that works so we can make that look good. Regardless, we can. There's easy ways to work around it. We can always take the exact same image, make it black, and either put a blending effect on it, if that's possible, and or make it transparent. And we'll get this. We'll actually be able to get this shadow the way we want it. Hide that tinted layer. I still really like the idea of the post-it telling you what you're, almost like you wrote a note. I'm iffy on the toolbox versus the to-do list or the notes. There's a lot I'm concerned with it functioning because this does feel jumbled. It feels like there's a lot going on there. But it, I don't know. Oh, accidentally started playing it. Because there is something to be said about if the menu can just switch to the thing. Like, I know it would work. It's clutter, I guess I'm worried about. I don't want the screen to be too cluttered. You know? You've got it nice and clean already. You know? Like it is real clean. A little smooshed and stretched, but that's okay. And I do like how you have it on the side. I dig the tool belt across the bottom, but does it necessarily need to be that way? I don't know. I mean, who's to say the belt couldn't be this way behind the post-it? Or like we started out with, something angled. And then maybe the keys in the corner. And when you click, you know, hover over that. I want to make it spacious. Utilize our space without feeling gross. Maybe not so much the text. Because a little back and forth menu isn't too bad. Wrong choice. You know what I mean? And then the whole thing slides over. Get it. Let me highlight that. You know what I mean? Even if it showed a little bit of it. I don't hate that. There's my keys. Yeah, that is all crazy. Of course it is. Why would I do it right? Oh, I want all the belt stuff. Doesn't feel right with the pockets on the side. Why is that all weirdly spaced out? I bet there's something weird going on with the layer. Ah, the old belt. We don't need you, old belt. Actually, let's just delete it this way. Bam. Both the truck bed with the tools in it and the belt are both awesome. That's kind of the problem with it. The bed makes more sense with the hats. But the belt makes more sense with the tools. And what you had a list for the tools, which is way more streamlined for sure. I don't know. Let's go back to the way we were. Start back from where we were. Because is it... Well, your tools you would keep. But do we hold on to the hats? Because the beers would get used, right? If like you needed health, you'd use them. Boom, they're gone. Would the hats have a lifespan, or is that something that you pick up throughout the game? And what I think we were talking about 8 levels. Roughly 8 levels, not counting our any of our bonus stuff. I didn't realize that till just now. That says swap. Oop. Swamp. Not the swap. Never swap it. If it's 2 level, or if it's 8 levels, and you picked up a hat every odd, so 1, 3, 5, and 7, that keeps us limited to 4 hats. Which gives us more room. Guess we could, no. Let's say if it was 6, 2 of them would be from possible bonus levels. And should we put a... I feel like we should definitely put a max on the amount of beer you can have. But it would definitely be more than a 6er. But then that's at least 7 hats. 'Cause 8 is supposed to be kind of like the last one. I kind of like collector hats though, to where in that way they don't have any power change. I might have come up with a workaround too for easier animation for the attacks. I think we just need to switch hands. Because doing that whole animation with the right arm, which is the one that's facing the camera, to where if we just switch to the left, the sprite doesn't actually change, just that one arm does, which may make it easier and faster. I kind of like that what you're saying about the hats. That kind of takes them out of the equation as far as the pause menu. Right? So if they were just a bonus thing that you can check, then it can stay off, right? Until you have hats. And though the truck is cool, we still get the same. If our inventory is just the cooler and the only thing that gets put in it is beer, that keeps it simple as well, right? Didn't I get rid of that one there? Get out of here with your being there and stuff. We could shrink our belt up a little bit more. Reintroduce our script to the middle. You saying something more like this, where we eliminate the truck bed, or the hat system, having it be a where'd the hats go? They were in the truck bed. Recenter that layer. Would the hats be wearable, even if they're just collectibles? I'm just randomly selecting colors here. And maybe I should just go across the top. What? So here, let's back up. Gray is stock, right? Let's go right down the middle of the color spectrum. These colors. Obviously, we'll switch these up. I'll go green. Look, we're making the badges again. Purple. Purplish pink. Pink. The special trucker hat. All black. Black on black. Darkness. Darkness hat. Because then it's almost like awards, right? Like you get awarded. Let's go 15. Right. Right. So based off whatever is in that level. I could agree with that. That one looks so thin. Teasing me. And then what? So when you're selected, right, it would just, everything else would move. Let's put bring the hats out of that. Scoff. No fill. New vector. Come on. 25. I want to get rid of that back one. This is a temporary arrow for brainstorming. You're probably going to want fast inventory, especially if we leave it where when you pause the game, the mosquitoes will still come hunting and you could die in the pause menu. I don't know if we should leave it that way, but that's how it is at the moment. Nope. And again, I still kind of worry about too much menu. Because this is not our to-do list. I know we have it up there, but essentially that's not what it is, right? Move our tools down here, right? Because it's first going to pop up with your resume menu and quit, other than your inventory. What if, kind of like our weird, do I still have the circle? Did I get rid of it? Select. I did not get rid of it. Give me those. Nope. Rectangle, please. I know that's not quite see-through, but I'm wondering if something like that to determine what tool you're on. Maybe it just glows around the border. So when you click whatever's in the center, that's what tool you have. Rather than having the note. Even though it is very clean. And I wouldn't think that would affect your system. Your current system. Our current system. That's more accurate. Okay, so if we change any of your menu stuff, it shouldn't matter because it's just selecting, right? I hate that those beer cans are so pixelated. I need to re-export that for you. Higher quality. Where's my mouse? There it is. Yeah. Go to this select. We're gonna make it even less. Just a little. We'll make that brighter, but also a little less. This doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just kind of going for what could be. You know what I mean? Just a simple, hey, this is the one you're on. Could even something like that. Some sort of something. Some sort of something. Let's bring in our other flyers. So many menus. We could always stack our hats different too. So maybe rather than it going like all the way, the menu could just shift over a little bit. Oop. And then we could stack the hats. Because this would actually be like what streets we're on and stuff, right? Like that. Where you at, hats? I don't see you. Where you at, hats? There you are. I mean, I don't have a good excuse for what the hats are, what they're in. It does, you know what? I guess I had them colored already. We're just going to duplicate some for right now. That's the hat collection, which is strictly for fun. Where you at, Cooler? Mm-hmm. Cooler inside of something it was, wasn't it? Yep. Center this up too. Bam. 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 So what I'm thinking here, maybe rotate the other way. Trying to think of a way to get the resume and stuff more involved where we don't have to necessarily use the paper, right? So actually, let's get rid of, we're going to get rid of that layer. We're going to take our regular, blow it up, and bring it over here. Keep our proportional sizes. Line up our to-do list. Oop. That would we want that probably as centered as we can. Do we want tips every time we pause? That's what we were talking about yesterday with the Post-its. Because we could put some rude statements in there, right? Like, I don't know how hard it would be. We could put it in there randomly, but we could have a, dang, you pause a lot. You know what I mean? I ain't never been so embarrassed. Dash Red. Or Randy or something, you know? What were you thinking for the in-between? Because I noticed you left a gap there. Was that intentional? I'm assuming maybe like options or something down the road. Is that what it currently says too, is menu and quit? Doesn't that do the same function? God, I open so many files every day that my shortcuts get wiped out constantly. Live time. I believe this is the latest build. I'm just curious if they do the same. That quits the entire game. Okay. But we do have quit on the main menu. Though I like Path of Least Resistance. Not for any other reason than my brain's wandering on what possibilities. I gotta go to the bathroom. If we don't have the tools sticking out, then our green outline would just be one of these, which would make it simple. pull, not belt stuff, truck bed. This could actually work on this side with the post-it on top, right? Because it's more of a like tips and jokey jokes. But the keys could also work there too. Doesn't matter which way the cooler is. But. We could keep it a 6-pack where you could only hold 6 at a time. And make it more of a travel cooler. I think I kind of like that. I mean, we'll leave it as this for right now. And we could then, I thought I centered this already. Yeah. Maybe even pull those down a little bit where they're kind of even with the cooler. And our post-it is just to kind of cover up our rings, right? I think we're gonna smoosh our arrows up a little bit. Not like that. They don't got to be so chunky. Ow, ow. Cat's meowing at my feet. Ow. Meow. And what the tools would probably be a little grayed out. We'll probably come up with something better than arrows. No audio. What? How you gonna do that, Norm? No audio. Here, we'll communicate through beef logs. That's for you, Norm. Beef logs. I hope he understands my SOS. Forgot what I was doing. Select. Probably be darker than that, right? I know that looks weird at the moment, but what? Don't squint your eyes at me. He got offended that I whatted him. He was like, eh. I guess that's kind of an unnecessary thing, right? That's overthinking. One that's highlighted or some type of indicator, right? Much like what you had. I guess it doesn't look that way when it exports. What would I'm almost wondering if a receipt with the resume menu quit in the middle, but it doesn't quite make sense. Or do we just keep it with a piece of paper? Oh, this way. That's the other thing. We got to name the streets. Let's do First Ave right now. We had like Park. And this was Dock. Oh, Duke. Meet me at the Dukes. Hey, Hunter, bring some of that quality over to the Dukes. We can go fishing. I don't remember what 5 was. Let's say street. Street. Oh, streety. See, look, it happens to all of us. You'll live it down. Highlight all. Just placeholding, not final art. As long as every day we make a little bit of progress, we're good. Every day that we can. We get rid of this select. And that way, like, it doesn't have to be as much like scroll through menu. And then hats is realistically an option. We don't have to necessarily do that. However, it makes a lot of sense with Florida. The keys need a little bit of adjusting. Like, it probably needs to be. Oh, I forgot. That's 2 things. You know, like we said, it would be a whole lot more key. We probably should even size down the keys. It's just, we need it to be just big enough to be funny. And that's pretty close right there. And we'll pull our post-it out a little bit more. Then it's basically your menu, your tool select, go to the store, check your inventory, find out your to-do list, check your hat. It could even be to where the resume and menu quit has the options in it as well. And then that's what pulls things up. Overly complicated menu here. It's not that complicated. It's progress, though. Post-it is kind of starting to feel like clutter too. But I really like the idea of tips. However, we were also considering, depending on what we could work out with OMG Wix, him doing narrations. And if that's the case, we could, depending on what we work out with him, if we can work anything out with him, he could do the tips, and they could actually be relevant to what's happening. I don't know. I think we have to let the subconscious work on this. I did think of two characters earlier today too. There's always a mix of race construction workers that always have, one of them will always have a hard hat on even after work's over, and this is like in trailer parks, and one of them still has the vest on, like the safety vest, and I thought that would be a good combo, like for a boss. We need critters and all kinds of enemies. I gotta let this cat in. He's over here meowing. We just had a whole bunch of weirdness go on. Something's going on with Area's phone for the government or something. I don't know. Weird. They're like, phones are down, and then they send in text messages and calling people. And it's not just me. Interesting. They left a message. Nope. Don't do that. Probably want that to feel raised. Me and those added details that are unnecessary. Shift a little more. Almost feels like it's flipped out. We need slogans for the hats. They're kind of ridiculous. And aggressive. Let's go more themed. Let's do 90s. Yeah, we want like old hats. My tree hanging, catching nothing, bottom snagging, line breaking, fish cussing. So Woody, or not Woody Woodpecker. What is it? Wile E. Coyote. Damn, I'm good. That's a good one. A lot of these don't feel like they're like old school ones. Bring back 90s country. This is all like new stuff. Be kind, rewind. Jesus, some of these are aggressive. What was Squidbillies? Because I know he had a bunch of weird ones. That one's, I don't know about that one. Those are aggressive too. I want like mildly funny, not so over the top. If I just did trucker hat. Squidbillies hat. Oh yeah, it's spelled all weird. Yeah, these are pretty aggressive. Been there, done that, got this hat. I kind of like that one. Booty Hunter's not bad. I feel like people are just putting stuff on top. I don't think this is actually from the show. Some of them are. I know he always had crazy hats. Don't blame me. I didn't vote. John Beer. I feel like this is no help at all. Where's the hat text? Actually, we can duplicate from the to-do list. This one. Duplicate. Because we'd have to add the descriptions to the hats as well, right? It'd be like, gone fishing, which that would be good for the dock level, right? I'm gonna say get her done. That, you know, we'd have to be careful with that one. I don't feel like any of these are relevant. John Beer's not bad. That's a little more than I want. Some random year would be kind of funny if it was like an airbrush kind of thing. That's more like old school. I don't cook, but I like to stir the pot. This is my Friday hat. I find that I'm trying to keep it not too aggressive. There's a little bit of vulgarity, but not too much. Nobody's got any trucker hat suggestions? Top shelf trophy wife. feel like there was an old quitters one. Something is for quitters. I like going nowhere fast. I think we have 9 hats right here, right now. We don't have to name them all right now. What happened? Apply just in case. Street. I wonder if we should look up the Lone Oak neighborhood and look at what their roads were called to help us name the streets. MILF, something like MILF detector is kind of funny. Born to Hunt. We might have to we'll throw a couple of vulgar ones in there, but we don't want them all to be, we don't want them all to be booty hunter, you know? I want variety. Redneck train wreck. I like that. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. We have 12. I'll leave it at 9 for right now. Let's see. Select. Those look pretty centered. Tool belt stuff. Why is it still offset? I thought I took care of that. Oh, it's because the hats are they in that? They are. I thought I took the hats out. And I thought I fixed those as well. There we go. I must have accidentally stuck them in here. Guess the keys don't necessarily have to be so big. Where are my keys? Still in the belt. Take them out of the belt. Free the keys. It's a little nonsensical. Is that the right word? Or does it stay with the belt? Oops. No. As an item. And then as you scroll through the belt, that's just how you go to the store. Which would probably need, we would have to keep that like indicator to tell you what you're selecting. So tools, duplicate. We're gonna put that on the very top. Make that black. 6. Can I do a drop shadow? No. Bam! Kaplow! Ah. That's not the same kind of shadow effect. I won't worry about the shadow effect at the moment. But we do want that to be smaller. It shouldn't be much lower than that. Nope. And then it would just switch. And then we may not even need the indicator, at least not that way. And then it would just be as you select and flip through, it would tell you what it does, right? And then we can make all of our pockets. Those can be independent, it doesn't necessarily have to be a tool belt pocket, but everything would go on your tool belt. And then we keep basic menu up here, which let's see if I can do that. Will it let me do this? No. It won't even let me get off of that tool. Why? Oh, because that's not an option. Okay, so I have to do it within there. Makes sense. Makes sense. We can't even highlight the black. All right, fine. Thought that would be a little easier to do, but okay. And let's reintroduce our post-it. We could possibly shrink that, shrink the tool belt a little bit, bring it up, probably move up our cooler. Post-it could kind of sit where it's at. So basically 2 menu system, right? Call these arrows. We're gonna copy. I wanted both of them. How dare you? We could make it where the tool belt never changes. And our hats. That way this is all a gallery, right? Not to-do list, this and regular. Right, it's about the same size, yeah. Bring that out a little, regular, this. Just where it hits the edge. Still iffy on how post-it will be. So yeah, I think we go with a gallery where you flip through everything. Makes me think maybe this should go. Kind of like the idea of the post-it like always being there. I don't know. I keep going back and forth with the post-it. I really do. Hats. Nope, not those hats. These hats. Where you at, cooler? Didn't I pull you out? Or are you still in the truck bed? Forever in the truck bed. To-do list. To-do list. To-do list. Regular. No, not to-do list. This one in regular PNG. I think I'll have to pull out proportions. This way it's 2 menus without actually going to a different screen. It would just be 2 galleries. And then that may give us the ability to leave the post-it always on top. So that way you always get your note, right? The gallery rotates in between here. Maybe. Oop. Not that I know if we're going to have any options, but for the sake of figuring it out. No. Getting lost in my layers here. Bring this up here. I guess we can move the whole truck bed. Nope. Truck bed. Truck bed. Jesus Christ. And I made it more cluttered. But that may help simplify it. Maybe we should even shrink all that stuff down. That way it's just 2 scrolls and we can put anything in there that we need to. We could add any kind of revolving system. And depending on how it works, we could always expand it out. So if you're like on the beer cooler, it could maybe like, and then like become bigger on screen. And maybe that's only for certain stuff, right? Or possibly shrinks when it's over to the side and whatever's in the middle is bigger. I'm going to save it. Progress. I feel closer. I feel like we're getting closer. All right, I hate to start late and then tear out early, but it's been one of those days and I got other stuff to do still. I just wanted to make sure I got on stream so you guys weren't like, what happened to him? He died. We never saw him again. No, Swervy. Why did you do it? I know it's not that deep. But I'll be back tomorrow. And we'll just keep on pushing on, baby. You know how we do it. All right, I'll see you guys later. Appreciate you guys always coming through. You're the best. Normal, I know you can't hear me, but thank you. Pow, chow, chow, chow.